Hey everyone, welcome to the reading for today. We're going to see what you need to know right now. It's a general reading, okay? It could be past, present, or future. You're going to know best how it resonates for you, all right? So with that being said, let's just jump right in and see what does Spirit need you guys to know today. What is happening in the current energy right now that you need to know about? The Eight of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. All right. And again, at the bottom of the deck, we have betrayal. Ultimate, painful betrayal. Okay. This has to do with somebody walking away and leaving. Somebody could have felt extremely burdened by something here. All right. They felt a big weight or something like that. A lot of pressure. This is somebody that rejects you, or this has to do with somebody getting rejected in love. Somebody feeling burdened because they were rejected in love. Okay, honestly, what I'm feeling here, I'm just gonna go for it because I feel like if we're, coming off a last reading that I just did, okay, it doesn't have to tie in together, but I'm just gonna say what I'm getting. This is like someone that was planning your murder, planning your death. They were gonna make it look like it was from depression and from, some sort of rejection in love. All right, so let's see what this is about. Eight of Cups. This has to do with somebody walking away, leaving, and feeling extremely burdened. So we're coming back into the theme of depression, right? It's like somebody that is trying to say you were depressed and then you died from like antidepressants or something like that. Eight of Cups. It came out in reverse though. Eight of Swords in reverse. This person doesn't want to go to prison, all right? The Ten of Wands. Feeling burdened, feeling stuck, feeling like something is way too much to carry, feeling a heavy, heavy weight on your back, okay? Feeling like everything is too much. The Five of Pentacles, bad health. How does this person think they're going to get out of imprisonment? By putting you in bad health, okay? Putting you in bad health. Ten of Wands. The Seven of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So the strategy here, this was a strategy that they had. They planned this. This is a premeditated, okay, to cause confusion. So they were going to, again, it's a premeditated murder. And this is their alibi, basically, all right? The Seven of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Star. This murdering Black Widow, it's the same fucking person as last reading, as yesterday, as a couple of days. There is a murdering Black Widow here that was going to kill you and make it look like it was depression that killed you, all right? Right. Knight of Cups in reverse. Getting so sick of this person. Knight of Cups in reverse. The Two of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you are not confused. There is no confusion about who you're dealing with, okay? It doesn't matter how nice they are, how nice they act. Nine of Pentacles. That this has to do with money. This has to do with this person's greed. All right, their lifestyle, their money, their finances. That's what all of this is about. That's all they care about. That's why they're a Black Widow. Killing people for money. That's what they do. All right, that's their whole MO. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. But there's something here that they cannot switch around. There's something that cannot be balanced out in this situation. All right. So tell me more about this Eight of Cups. The King of Pentacles. Okay, this has to do with somebody leaving a King of Pentacles behind. Betrayal. Ultimate painful, ultimate betrayal. Nine of Swords comes out together again. This person was going to say that because of a breakup or because you left someone behind, a King of Pentacles, you were so stressed out, anxious, depressed, stuck up in your head, a nervous wreck to the point where you stabbed yourself in the back with 10 swords, right? Right. That's what they were going to say. That's what they were going to say in the past. So the first time they tried to do this, that's what they were going to say, all right? The Peacock, but you're the Peacock. You're not stressed out. You're not sad. You're not up here stuck in your head. You're not thinking about self-deletion. None of that, all right? The Five of Cups, depression. Exactly. Exactly. So who was the person that was planning your death and was going to make it look like it was depression? The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups did that, okay? It was her. That was her plan. To get out of imprisonment. To get out of it. That's the truth. Who's the one trying to kill you? The Queen of Cups is. And that's the truth. Okay? So that she can hold on to something. So that this greedy, stingy, greedy Black Widow can hold on to some sort of money. All right? What's it about? Money. Death for money. Wow, that's all Spirit wants to talk about today, is that the Queen of Cups is a murdering family member of yours or of someone's here that tried to kill you for money, okay? Yeah, Ten of Wands. And they wanted to make it look like it was depression. Yeah, Ten of Wands. The Knight of Wands, taking some sort of quick action here. They're taking very quick action now. This group of people is. So now there's a group of people that is trying to take quick action very quickly because the Queen of Cups is getting paranoid and they really want to get away with something. This could be someone's own mother. Can you imagine the Empress? Can you imagine having a dark and twisted, soulless mother like this? Yeah. That is some dark, nasty shit. That is enemy from a past life, right? Okay, the Hierophant. The Two of Cups. This could have to do with a relationship and a marriage, all right? But I feel like that's the alibi. So their alibi was going to be something about a relationship and marriage, maybe, okay? What's that about? Or they're something about a relationship. They were just going to try and say they're a relationship of yours. Oh, never mind. One night stand, many options, a one night stand, unconventional string along. So they were going to say it had something to do with cheating. You got cheated on and you were so depressed about cheating that you died, okay? But their problem here, their big problem is this, that you have healed your heart and you are free from toxic relationships and toxic addictions. So they can't kill you with an addiction because you're not addicted to anything, all right? Kisses, but they need to find a different way of how they're going to try and give something to you, how they're going to try and administer something to you, right? Okay, then. So they're looking at their options. This person is keeping their options open. So this is like a murdering person that they don't have just one way of how they're going to try and kill you. They're already thinking of other ways that they can kill you, okay, if the one way doesn't work. Mask, because this person wears a mask, okay? They are pretending to be someone that they're not. They are a mask. Their whole identity is a mask, okay? They are something dark and twisted on the inside. So, not enough. Yeah, this person is jealous. They don't have any confidence, okay? Or that's what they were going to say about you, that you were so insecure and you had so much lack of confidence that you decided to off yourself, all right? So tell me more about this Queen of Cups here, this lying criminal, backstabbing manipulator here. This is what they did in the past. This is exactly what they did in the past. They gave you something. 66. In the past, this Queen of Cups was the one that gave something to you. If you started feeling sick, if you started feeling like somebody was poisoning you, if you started feeling like something was very, very wrong with you, it was this Queen of Cups that was administering something to you, trying to kill you secretly, all right? Okay, so tell me about this Knight of Cups reverse then. Getting rejected. Mirror. This is what they tried to mirror. All right? They were going to try and mirror this. So they were going to say, you got rejected in love, somebody doesn't love you, all right? Heart with a key. Yeah, welcoming love, meeting the one, okay? That you thought this was the one, and then they rejected you, something like that. Photographs, and they were going to do this with some sort of photographs or screenshots, okay? Whatever that is. So tell me more about this Nine of Pentacles, money. The Eight of Wands in reverse, because something is backfiring on them when it comes to money. There's something that they can't switch around. This Empress, whatever they've been doing here for a very, very long time, all right? Or they've been this way for a very, very long time. This has to do with somebody leaving, walking away. Yeah, leaving something behind, leaving, walking away. The Ace of Wands, they decided to take some sort of action here with a Queen of Wands because of somebody that left. Yeah, and bad news that somebody was leaving, traveling, moving forward here, okay? This person didn't like something. They didn't like that you were leaving, or they didn't like that something was moving forward in some sort of way. Or okay, so again, let's just take last reading as an example, right? It doesn't have to be this, but just as an example so I can put it into words, okay? So let's say this Queen of Cups, you're staying with them for a while. They think you're staying with them. I don't know, maybe you're living with them, okay, or whatever. And they take your medication and they switch it out, or they put something else in with your medication. So you don't know what you're taking. You're just taking something that you have no idea, right? And maybe you didn't notice at first, okay? Because they could have done this in a way where, you know, you're supposed to take all the tablets and then it builds up in your bloodstream or whatever. So they might have tried to get rid of your meds right before you leave or something like that, okay? So this is like you have your meds, but now you're no longer in their house. You're not in their location. You have left and you're somewhere else, okay? And you take your meds with you. Now, while you're somewhere else, though, your health is declining because you're taking your medication every day and your health is declining, and you don't know why, but it is, okay? This person could have tried to throw your meds away before you leave because in the case of an emergency, they wouldn't be the one that would be communicating with a doctor or with the ambulance or with the hospital or whatever, or with the coroner or the police. They wouldn't be the one that could talk themselves out of it, right? So if you end up dead, they're not going to be the one that's talking, or if you're like deathly ill, they're not going to be the one talking to the doctors, talking to the nurses or whatever. They wouldn't be the one communicating and wiping their hands clean of this medical murder situation here, right? So they didn't like that you were leaving and taking your medication with you. So they might have tried to throw it away or get rid of it so that, you know, because the plan's not going to work. In their mind, they have to be the one that is talking to the doctor or talking to the police when something happens, because that's literally their alibi. Like, they need to talk their way out of what they did and the fact that they were the one that poisoned you slowly. Okay, so they could have tried to take some sort of action here and blame it on someone else, the Queen of Wands, all right? Or maybe you thought it was someone else, because how are you supposed to know that you're being poisoned slowly by your own medication, okay? Right, so tell me more about this Nine of Pentacles, this money. There's no confusion here about this money. The Page of Coins, this money, this good news, all right? Good news, money, some sort of messages, good news about finances, okay? The Three of Pentacles, this person is working together with others. They did this together as a collaboration. And all three of them, justice. You're going to get justice for this. And they can wait on it. These three people, they're going to see that justice is coming for them, okay? The Emperor, oh yeah, definitely, okay? Do they really think they're going to get away with this? Criminals, really. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, I feel like that's something that the Two of Wands, the choices that they made, right? Because they could have tried to make some sort of choices here after the fact. Like, let's say you're getting very, very ill off of something. Like, you don't know what's wrong with you. You can tell that you're being poisoned or you feel that way, right? But they're not around you. You're somewhere completely different. So they could have tried to do something where they tried to cover it up with another person or something like that, right? To make it look like it was someone else because you were showing signs of being poisoned in some sort of way, okay? Yeah, they needed something to defend themselves with. Seven of Wands, right? 44. They needed something to defend themselves with. The Three of Cups. These three people did, all right? It's a whole group of people. The King of Wands. The King of Wands knows what this is, or I don't know if the King of Wands is one of these people. No, I don't think so. Queen of Swords, and the King of Wands. Okay, some sort of manifestation here, all right, or some sort of magic or some sort of energy work. I don't know what that is. The devil. Who's the energy work for? The devil, okay? Who's getting the shockwave? The devil is. Tell me more about that here. King of Wands, Queen of Swords. Yeah, this has to do with somebody traveling and leaving a family home, right? Leaving a family situation. This was a message of concern. And that's what I mean. It's like the plan was you are with this person, you take this medication with them, so when something happens to you, they're the one that can communicate with first responders and make themselves look innocent. But if you're not there and they do an autopsy and they find something and they're like, how the hell did this happen? Then they find your medication, then they run some tests on your meds and they're like, what the fuck is this? Why is there something else in your medication mixed in there? That's gonna, this Queen of Cups isn't gonna be able to hide your meds, throw them away, tell the first responders anything about what happened. So that's a problem, right? This plan only works when you are with them, in the same house as them. So it was a message of concern for them that you were leaving, and they could have tried to cover their tracks here because of you leaving, all right? They're not going to be the one talking to the first responders in an emergency kind of a thing. Right, so anything else here today for the collective with this one? The Star, healing. Yeah, you're healing right now maybe from whatever this person tried to do to you. Whatever your family member tried to do to you. This is family. This is a manipulative Black Widow family member, okay? Your family is fucking crazy. Like there is something seriously wrong with their mind. Super manipulative, calculated. They would do anything to win. They would stab you in the back. This is a thieving criminal, okay? Your family member is so manipulative. They are so dark and twisted, and karma is coming for them. It's a fated event for this person to be exposed, this family member of yours. Okay. The Five of Wands. They thought they were your competition, or what is this? The Moon and the Chariot. The Four of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. This plan was only going to work with you living in the house. So when you decided to leave, they had to find a way to keep this a secret. And I swear it has something to do with like first responders, right? Because the message about what was being given to you, because people are going to ask questions. If you end up dead in your bed in the middle of the night and the first responder comes, they're going to be asking questions. What kind of medication do they take? How could this have happened? We need to search this. We need to look through this. We need to run tests. This Queen of Cups wanted to be the one to answer all the questions, if you get what I'm saying. They wanted to be the one to hide the pills, hide everything, hide the evidence of what they did, so that when the first responders come in, they can say, oh, I have no idea what happened. My family member, they passed away from depression. They passed away because they took some pills, but, it's something like that, where they want to be the one answering questions. And that only works if they're in the same house as you. They lose that control, because that's what this is about anyways. With narcissists like this, it's always about that control. They only want to kill you when they are there next to you doing it, so that they have control over what happens next and what they're going to say and what the police is going to think and what the EMT is going to think. That's what this is about. If you're not around them, they don't have that control of talking themselves out of it, making themselves look innocent of something, okay? So closing words here for this one. What they did in the past, they did this to you in the past. And Page of Wands in reverse, they wouldn't have been able to be the one that communicates. That's what it's about. Why did they throw something away? Because they wouldn't have been able to communicate to the first responders. And that was important for some reason, that they are the one that communicates. Because like I said, if they're trying to kill you with some sort of medication, but you don't take that medication, and that medication is not in your record whatsoever, you've never gotten it prescribed whatsoever. This Queen of Cups wants to be the one that's talking to the EMTs and the police saying, yes, you're going to find this medication in their system, but But it's because of this, this, and this. You know, you get what I'm saying? They don't have that same control if you're not there. Six of Swords, yeah, getting away, safe passage, leaving something behind. The Fool and the Hermit. Yeah, you were about to leave, okay, and they wanted to keep something a secret. They had to do something secretly, hidden, you know, they were trying to give something to you secretly, but you were then leaving. You were getting away, okay? Yeah, something was done too impulsively, maybe, okay, or they did something impulsively. To keep this a secret, exactly. To keep this a secret, the Moon. They did something impulsively because they were doing this secretly at their house, okay? In their home, all right? This is what they do secretly in the home, all right? And now the truth is coming out. So, is this still on? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. All right. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.